It's the new year, and that means that you get a clean slate. You can start all over and maybe do things a little differently in 2011. One thing that many of us in this country need to change is our eating habits. Putting the right foods in our bodies and cutting out the wrong stuff will not only help us look great for the new year, but it will also make us feel great. Here to help us clear up some of the confusing details about our food is nutritionist Lisa Dorfman. And of course, we also have one of our favorite chefs, Chef Ozzie from Heartland Sweeteners, here with some more fabulous recipes that can help us get on track to getting and staying healthy in the new year. Welcome to the show, both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great.
So thrilled that you're here. Now, Chef Ozzie, we're going to get to you in a second with some of your yummy recipes and all the good stuff for us. But I want to talk to you, Lisa, a little bit about the confusing stuff when it comes to the bad things that we maybe put in our bodies. And fats confuse everybody. There's so much info out there. So let's start with the bad fats.
Yeah. The bad fats, as we know them, are the hard fats at room temperature. So things like butter and lard not only put on pounds, but clog our arteries, increase our blood pressure. They're just not generally good for our health.
And we also hear in this bad fat category the trans fats. This word is everywhere now. What exactly are the trans fats?
Yeah, I call the trans fats kind of like the Frankenstein of fats, because they were created in a lab a couple of decades ago when companies wanted to pull out the cholesterol and the animal fats from their products. What happened was they put in some oils, but the oils didn't hold at room temperature. So they added back, they made them more saturated again, and they created these trans fats. And these trans fats are worse than any of the saturated fats on the market. They do, at a very quick rate, build up cholesterol in our bloodstream, bring up our blood pressure, and cause all kinds of metabolic and health problems for everyone, young and old.
Right, and that's what we don't want. But we do need, and this is where some people maybe fall off track, we do need some good fats in our system.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, we do need fats in our diet. Fats help us to absorb the fat-soluble vitamins, A, D, hear a lot about D, E, and K. Help us to prevent inflammation. You know, we're all getting out there and exercising, and our joints might hurt and muscles. And the good fats, known as the omega-3s and the omega-6s, the essential fats that are found in vegetable oils and olive oils, are good for our health. So we do want to include them in our diet. We have some commercially prepared products now that contain lots of those good fats.
Great, so it's like the smart balance. But we don't want to overdo it though, right? I love to cook with olive oil, but there might be a little bit, might be too much. You don't want to do too much.
Yeah, and there is definitely a too much. On a 2,000 calorie diet, most people don't realize they only need between 44 and 66 grams of fat a day.
Wow.
So you know when you go to those restaurants and you're dipping away with the bread and the oil, well, each tablespoon of olive oil has 14 grams of fat.
Wow.
So that adds up very quickly.
One thing I wanted to ask about, because this was a buzzword when I was growing up, you know, 15 years ago, the fat-free products. Everybody was looking for fat-free. Is that something that still is important?
Yeah, you know, here we go again with that, you know, new issue. Okay, so if low fat is good for you, let's take out all the fat. But what happens is then there's no taste. You could ask Chef. I mean, it's tasteless. So what companies did again was they just threw in a lot of sugar and a lot of other ingredients and processing and these kinds of things that really created a lot more health problems and cravings. People don't eat one cookie these days. They eat a box of cookies.
Right.
So it's a huge problem, no pun intended.
Right, a huge problem. All right, Chef Ozzie, now this is where I want to bring you into this because you're the guy who knows how to replace the sugar in these things. We're going to talk about Ideal a little bit because there may be people who haven't seen the Balancing Act watching this morning. Tell us what Ideal is.
Ideal is absolutely the best sweetener on the market. Ideal is a no-calorie sweetener. It's made from xylitol, which, if anyone knows xylitol is, it's got added health benefits. And what's so unique about it is you can bake with it, you can cook with it. It's just absolutely wonderful, and your guests would never know that you did not use sugar.
Now, you know I love the Ideal ever since you introduced me to it, and it's preferred over sugar is the thing that I like about it.
Exactly. An independent taste test, consumers actually picked it over sugar.
And I'm so thrilled because you know me, we've worked together a lot. You brought some great stuff for me to taste. Let's talk about what you've replaced here to make a yummy pumpkin bread.
And I know you love to eat, Beth.
You know I do.
So, I mean, just starting over here and taking up what Lisa was saying, some of the alternatives that we can use in here. This pumpkin bread is absolutely so moist and so flavorful. You put this on the table, no one would ever know that it's good for you and made without sugar.
Really?
You know, it's made with our Ideal. But you know what I've done in here is I've taken out the eggs, I've used egg substitutes, so we've gotten rid of some of those fats.
Okay.
We're using alternative spreads. You can use a 50-50 blend. You can use a straight commercially prepared, these new spreads out there are absolutely fabulous. You don't even know they're in there. They're absolutely great. And you can save not only the sugars in here and the calories from the sugars, but you're saving all the extra fats too that you don't need. This pumpkin bread, you're saving 25 grams of sugar and 70 calories per slice.
Per slice you're saving.
Yeah, I mean, but you're not sacrificing any flavor, any sweetness, any taste to that at all.
And of course, I'm
Absolutely
going to test you on that and taste this. You always bring
Try a
food
little
for me
bit of
to eat.
that. We also have here a no dairy chocolate cake. When I say no dairy, it's actually a healthy, moist, decadent. It's really, really a good cake. And in this cake, we're saving 44 grams of sugar and 100 calories.
In a slice.
Right. And on Lisa's notes, you know, we're also taking the fats out. There's no dairy in this, so there's no eggs. There's no butter. So I'm using, you know, just other ingredients in there. We're taking it all out. And in all these recipes that are in my book, and I personally like to use a lot of these different alternatives, this butter alternative instead of butter, or you can do a 50-50. I like to use olive oil, but not the extra virgin because of the very strong flavor.
Sure.
Just plain olive oils or light olive oils in the recipes. Canola, vegetable oils in lieu of some of the fats in there. You know, for example, these muffins have a low-fat yogurt, a butter substitute, our ideal sweetener, and oils. So I'm taking the fats out. And in the cookbook, I've really taken the sugar out of all the recipes, but these are all great tips that you're not going to sacrifice a lot of the flavor and play with it. You can take out the fats.
And we're still going to be able to enjoy them for the new year. Now, these are raspberry muffins. Is that the fruit that's in this?
Yeah, it's a lemon raspberry muffin. So we're using fresh raspberries, fresh lemon. I just like to use all fresh ingredients, fresh pumpkin seeds on the pumpkin bread.
What about the cookies here? These are oatmeal raisin?
Yeah, these are oatmeal raisin. Again, we're using the spread. Using great raisins. I mean, it's a traditional favorite people like. I mean, a lot of kids like chocolate chip, but, you know, I really like these. It's a good, healthy. You have the oats. Yeah. You're putting the spread in there instead of the butter. Really a good cookie. I mean, and you're not sacrificing with our product, Ideal, you're not sacrificing flavor or sweetness.
You're absolutely right, because this pumpkin bread is amazing. Everything that you always serve me is always fantastic. You're getting people ready for the new year because you can still have delicious food and you're saving yourself so many calories, so much sugar. Perfect way to get on track for the new year.
Why not?
And they taste so fantastic. Thank you so much, Chef Ozzie, for joining us. I love having you here. I love getting to eat your food. And thank you, Lisa, for being here.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate all the information. You've cleared a lot up for us this morning. Now, if you folks there at home, if you would like more information about Ideal No-Calorie Sweetener, or if you would like to try some of these yummy recipes you've seen here this morning, just check out the website, idealsweet.com. And by the way, as Chef Ozzie said, all of these recipes are in Chef Ozzie's cookbook, Sweet Revolution. So check it out.